Okay, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Show Me the Money. Now today I want to talk about the 12 ways beginners can get started in real estate. Truth is, there are several ways beginners can make money in real estate without being a landlord. So let's get started. Hopefully this will get you started on your road to becoming an undercover millionaire. Now, a lot of you are feeling like this, bored, you're frustrated, you're sitting at your job, you're feeling stuck with no hope and no way out. And for a lot of you, unfortunately, this is your reality. But this is how I feel every day. I feel new jack successful. I feel like there's nothing I can't accomplish. My mission is to help you get to that point with no fluff, no BS. I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to try to tell it like it is. So let's get started. Let's talk about single family homes. The reason I like this is because it's the most common investment for most first-time investors. A lot of single family homes, they're easy to rent, they're easy to sell, they're easy to finance. They can also be a little more difficult to cash flow, but they can take up a significant amount of time and effort to purchase just one unit. But believe me when I tell you, this is a good way for beginners to get started in this game. So let's talk about our second subject here, which is mobile homes. Okay, a lot of people overlook this because they just picture trailer parks. Now, generally they are found in parks, but they can also be on private land, and mobile homes are found all over the country. It can be a very inexpensive way to get into the world of real estate investing, and you can also experience significant cash flow. And as you can see, some of these mobile homes have a look and feel just like a real house. And again, they can offer great cash flow. So don't overlook this. Okay, let's talk about purchasing real estate notes. I personally like this one. It's one of my favorites. You can invest in notes that involves the buying and selling of paper mortgages. Okay, they're not necessarily a property type, but the notes can be bought and sold and mortgaged and traded just like the properties they represent. And a lot of times the owner of the property, they may choose to offer financing and carry the mortgage. And in this case, a note will be created, and that's going to spell out the terms of the overall contract. Okay, we're going to talk about, fix and flip single family homes. There's a lot of this out there. It's very popular. We'll start with some of the most obvious ones. Okay, you buy a cheap house, you fix it up, you resell it. Okay, now looking at the before and after pictures, you can clearly see for yourself why it's so popular with beginners. I mean, the profit potential for this type of strategy is amazing. So don't overlook this. Okay, now we're going to talk about one of my personal favorites. Again, it's called wholesaling single family homes. There's not a whole lot to this. You basically just scout your local area. You find some great deals. You put those deals together, you get them under contract to buy, and then you assign them, which is selling them. You sell those deals to an investor for a fee. Okay, so that's how you make your money. You find it, you fund it, and then you sell it to an investor, and you get a nice fee. Next thing, let's talk about lease option sandwich. Okay, not trying to be funny, but this is not something that you eat. A lease option sandwich without actually owning the property. A lease option will allow you to gain control of a property by leasing it with a legal option to purchase the property at a specified price within a specified time period. And a lot of times these properties can be resold using another lease option, and the investor simply makes money by being the middleman. So I actually like this, and it's also very popular. It's called a lease option sandwich. Now, in this slide right here, it's a lease option. Again, it's pretty much what we already talked about, but as I mentioned earlier, a lease option, which is a lease purchase, it's a method that's used to control real estate without actually taking the title. It's simply just renting the property with the legal right to buy it later. It can be a good way to buy a property. Okay, now buying REOs, these are bank-owned properties that were taken back in foreclosure. Now, a lot of times these properties can be picked up for a significant discount. As a bank, they're very often willing to get the loan off their books. That's all they want. And additionally, there's no emotional attachment on the part of the bank. They just want to get rid of the property. They just want to get it off their books and see how much they can get for it. So that's a very good opportunity for you. Let's talk about HUD foreclosures. When a government insured loan is foreclosed on, a lot of times the property it becomes a property of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and it's their job to sell the house, and a lot of times they'll offer it at a steep discount just to move the product. Okay, this is another good way to get good houses at good discount prices. Okay, now if you're looking at being a hard money lender, what that is, you got to be careful. Okay, a hard money lender, that's a person who lends money for the acquisition and improvements to an investment property. It's based almost entirely off of how good the deal is. Okay, if you're looking for a way to earn some significant returns on your money without needing to actually own the property, my advice, consider becoming a hard money lender. But again, you got to be careful with this one. Let's talk about small partnerships. Okay, this is the Undercover Millionaire Syndicate. We have something like this going already. And partnerships are a great way to invest in real estate. Two parties, what they do, they join forces, they bring their talents, their resources, experience, they bring all that to the table, make it a profitable investment. Perhaps you don't have the cash to buy an investment, but you have the time, and you have a friend who actually has the cash but no time. You can have a great partnership, join forces, help strengthen the deal, make some good money for yourself. Now, this last one I want to talk about, it's one you got to be very careful with. It's using private money. Okay, if you have some friends, relatives, neighbors, or anybody else that may be looking for a better interest rate than what they're getting right now for their bank CD or their savings account, they may actually be interested in lending that money to you so you can finance your acquisition. Generally, private money is based off the relationship more than anything, but it's still secured by the loan to value of the deal. So try to find good deals for these people. And it's often one of the best ways to finance real estate, but you got to use caution because personal relationships are involved. And always beware of who you're taking money from. So again, I do want to thank you for listening to the 12 ways beginners can get started in real estate. You can visit us anytime at www.theundercovermillionaire.com. So stop by, see what we got to offer, and we're going to have some more upcoming videos in the upcoming weeks. So stay tuned. Thank you.